Well, would you look at this? A little midday trade. I was just having a little snack, and you know what? What a perfect time to do a recording. The New Orleans Pelicans and the Washington Wizards, two teams that struggled mightily last year, have just made a trade. CJ McCollum, a guy that we suspected could be on the trading block, and Kelly Olynyk, along with a future second round pick, are on their way to Washington. So sorry for those guys. For Jordan Poole, sorry, Wizards fans. I can't help myself. For Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the number 40 pick. Wow. Initial reaction to this is you really didn't get much. So what's going on here? I'm like, obviously there's salary implications to this, right? Let's mock this trade out just for a second so we can actually see the implications. I'm trying to do this more often. So two bottom teams making a trade right here. Pelicans obviously trying to be a little bit more competitive this year. It's just injury central for them. So Jordan Poole on his way over to New Orleans instantly. I think that's a pretty interesting fit. CJ McCollum back here. Okay, save a little bit of money and off money a year sooner. Yeah, that makes some sense. That's interesting. Okay, and then who else is on the move? Kelly Olynyk here on the one-year deal, and then Sadiq Bey over here. And then we said it's pick number 40 on their way over to New Orleans. I think they only had one pick, so that's pick 7. Yeah, and then some other second-round pick that we're not familiar exactly what it is at this point. So, okay, so just know that there's another second-round pick in this somewhere. But here's the trade in and of itself, which I don't mind this. I don't mind this. Let's think all of this through. Let's think about it from the Pelicans' perspective. They're getting the best player in Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole honestly had a pretty solid basketball season last year. Like, try to ignore some of the efficiency things, and this isn't even me taking a dig at like the Wizards or something. It's just they weren't a very good basketball team last year. The team was kind of a mess. It's a lot of young players, so it's not always going to be the cleanest form of basketball. Overall, like, dude was a pretty solid player. Like, when he has the basketball, he was able to be a great shot creator. Like, he got to his own spots well. Like, he actually facilitated things decently. So solid basketball player. This can be New Orleans' kind of starting point guard for the year. Is it like his primary position? Not necessarily, but he can be your pseudo point guard until DeJounte Murray comes back, if and when he does come back. He ended up with Sadiq Bey as well, who missed this last season with like injuries. When he has played in the past, he's been a solid kind of 3-and-D player. The 3 part still developing a little bit, but ideally can be a solid basketball player for you. Some depth at the wing position. You get the 40th pick in the draft. Cool. And you got rid of CJ McCollum and Kelly Olynyk. What does this mean for Washington? Washington adds another vet to their group, which is cool. Like, I like that this new Wizards regime is doing stuff like this, right? I like that their most expensive players are all these veteran guys that in theory will kind of help to grow and change the culture of this group, right? We'll see if CJ McCollum is going to stick around here. Maybe they're going to buy him out because maybe CJ's just not even interested in being on this team. I don't know exactly. If he did get bought out, he would instantly become a really valuable piece to somebody just because, like, offensively, dude can still do a lot. It's just defensively, there's not much to go around at this point. But if CJ McCollum sticks around, and I actually think it wouldn't be such a bad idea to keep him around, I don't mind this for them at all. Again, Jordan Poole wasn't going to help you a ton in the long term anyway, right? The value that Jordan Poole would have had for Washington this last season is he's that primary scorer, because when you look at the young guys on this group, Alex Sarr, Bub Carrington, Keyshawn George, or whoever else you end up drafting, right? Not going to be ready to be like go-to scorers in the NBA. So you have someone on the team to take some of the scoring pressure off them when they first get in the NBA. I don't know if you guys have been watching like the LeBron and Steve Nash podcast. What is it? It's I can't remember the name of it, but they were talking about like development, how like you shouldn't expect guys to do too much like early on in the league. And so having guys that can kind of take that pressure off you early, I think is great. So if you're not going to have Jordan Poole on the team, well, CJ McCollum can go get some buckets for you still. So between that, Chris Middleton, who, he's going to do his thing. It's kind of whatever. They're both on one-year deals. Kelly Olynyk's on a one-year deal. Marcus Smart's on a one-year deal. You have a ton of salary flexibility that's opening up after this. And more importantly, just guys to put on your roster that will at least play competent basketball night in and night out. And that's going to raise the ceiling for your Alex Sarrs, your Koulibalys, your Bub Carringtons, AJ Johnson, Keyshawn George. Like, what's the point of having these young guys if you're not going to invest some time and energy into them? This reminds me now of kind of that old Timberwolves team where they had like some guys that are quite a bit older and then some real youngins. So that's kind of what they got going on now. Oh, not to mention Rashawn Holmes also. His contract's not guaranteed, though, right? I believe that's what's going on with him and his contract. Yeah, only $250K guaranteed, so we'll see. But a lot of money coming off the books. So I like this for both groups. Do we have an insight as to what else is going on here? The trade swaps guards, the Washington Wizards shifting from Poole to the veteran McCollum, who has an expiring contract. Washington is now expected to approach $100 million. Yeah, this is what we were just saying. That's pretty crazy. The Pelicans move younger, possibly more dynamic with Poole and Bay. Yeah, no, this is an interesting move. This is not one that we drew up at all during the offseason. I felt like we drew up just about everything. If I can shift attention back to the Pelicans, this leaves you with kind of a projected lineup of like, let's just say we'll say it's Jordan Poole, probably some combination of like Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, right? Zion, Yves Missy, whoever they end up drafting could be a potential guy for them. Like, they've got scorers on this team. They got some defensive players. Like, I'm not saying this is a contender by any means, but I think this definitely leaves the Pelicans in a better spot than what they were. Sadiq Bey could be a depth piece for them, which I think could be nice. I do think this is a good improvement. Like, they just didn't have to give you anything for Jordan Poole. Like, Jordan Poole just is a better player, right? And you got a draft pick back. You sent out another second, which I just kind of don't care about, and you gave up 2 players that you just didn't care to necessarily have. So this is great. I love this for both teams. This is a really cool move. So shout out these 2 teams. I think they're doing good. Chalk this up. Hey, you know what? We don't get to clap it up for the Wizards much in here. I think the Wizards are doing good things right now. Let's hope that this new front office is doing something. I don't want to see those comments of people being like, see, everything's better. Let's give it some time. You got to prove it to me first, but hey, we clap it up for these good moves like we did last year with Charlotte and some of their good moves. Good job, Washington. I think this is cool. I like this. Again, what are you going to do with that free agency space? Not necessarily anything, but I'd just rather have the vet on this team that can still go get you some buckets, take pressure off of guys. I think this is good. This, I think, makes the Pelicans better instantly, so cool. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. I love this. I love this. Quick reminder, I'm going to be live for the draft tomorrow. I believe it's like 6:30 Central Time I'm going live or something like that. You can see it on my channel here. When did I post I was going to be there? Yeah, 6:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So just be on the lookout for me there. I've got my final mock draft I'm recording for you guys tonight, and it'll be, I might even just release it tonight, because why not? Let it have a little longer lifespan before the draft. So you know what? Yeah, you guys will get a video later tonight, and then just an FYI, there won't be a video on Friday because I am now that like my work cycle is ended, I'm going to travel and see some family for a little bit. So just an FYI, there won't be a video on Friday. But anyway, I appreciate you guys as always, and yeah, let me know your thoughts on this trade. I think this is a good one. Anyway, we'll talk later. Thanks so much. Bye.